Hello. Welcome back to Life After Plus One. I'm Leanne, your podcast host and your single parent mentor and coach. And today I want to talk about a topic that we all deal with. And it's whether you're a single parent or not. But the thing is, when you are a single parent, I do believe it has such a greater impact on you because of the stigma that goes with it. And that is the comparing, the proving a point, the constantly feeling like you need to justify yourself. You're constantly feeling like you're being misunderstood, and you're constantly comparing yourself to everyone else's situation. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The pressure is real from society, from social media, from our friends and family. And sometimes we think to ourselves, well, shit, if you were a real friend, would you be thinking that about me? Would you be saying that? Would you be acting that way? I don't know. Where do you stand in my life? So today, we're putting a stop to that. There's no more proving a point. There's no more trying to play catch up. There's no more trying to justify who you are and why you do certain things. Everybody is on their own journey and everybody is at their own place in life. And so today we're going to talk about that and talk about how to get rid of that comparison, that proving a point, the judgment, passive aggressive comments, and feeling like you always need to be playing catch up. You're always behind the 8 ball. Listen in, because that is what we are putting a stop to today. There is no more comparing, no more proving a point, no more justifying your decisions. You are who you are and you are at your own place in life, and that is unique to you and doesn't have to be explained to anyone. But before I do dive into today's episode, I do have some online workshops coming up. They're exciting ones. There's one on dating where I'm hosting an online chat all about dating as a single parent. There is another one there which is called Let That Shit Go, letting go of the past and helping you move forward. So these are 2 online workshops that I will be hosting. I also have another exciting one, which is a group Q&A session. So I do have a specific one-on-one Q&A session, which I have for anyone that has a question that they're struggling to deal with. And I love doing these sessions, and you can get so much out of it. We don't do a deep dive where we go into the coaching session. It's just a quick chat where you're struggling with these things and you don't want the judgment from social media. You don't want the responses from social media that don't always give you the answers that you want. And they're the things that are keeping you awake at night. This is what those Q&A sessions for. You can ask me anything of where you're going through, from someone that's been there, someone that's a certified divorce coach, and someone that's here to help you from a neutral ground without any judgment or any kind of questions about why are you doing this for. This is a confidential one-on-one chat where you can talk about anything of where you're at and you need help with those answers. But I've also got exciting group session coming up. And this is a fun one because it is the same as a one-on-one Q&A session, but you're doing it in a group. So the good thing about that is that you can hear other people's stories. You can hear where other people are at. A group setting can be really powerful and really helpful as well. So it just depends if you want something more private, more one-on-one, or a group setting. Those sessions are all available and they're all in the show notes, or the jump on my website. You can book it in there, and that are pretty good price points, to be honest with you. So have a look. And on that note, let's jump into today's episode and stop comparing, stop proving a point, and let's stop being misunderstood. Welcome to the Life After Plus One podcast, where we turn life's lemons into delightful lemonade. Get ready for inspiring stories, uplifting conversations, and all the tips and tricks to rock your single parent journey with style. I'm your host, Leanne, and it's time to embrace the adventure of Life After Plus One. So let's dive in. Okay, so let's talk about the comparison that you go through as a single parent. Now, it's a really shitty one when you think about it, because it's not just you're feeling the need or you're looking at other people and comparing yourself to them because it's just you, and you sometimes wish, oh, I wish I had a partner, or I wish I had a nicer home, or I wish I was still in the family home, or I wish I still had that kind of income when I was with my ex. There's a lot of wishings and a lot of comparing yourself in that scenario. But then you've also got the comparisons and the judgments and the narky comments about when you're a single parent and you're out in the dating world and you feel like people are judging you because of that. Like, what, you should stay single? You shouldn't have a life because that relationship ended? You're not allowed to go out and find the right partner for you? There's the judgment for that. There's the judgment with your co-parenting relationship. Maybe your co-parent isn't as hands-on as you'd like them. Maybe they're not stepping up to the plate. Maybe you've tried everything to get them involved and they're not involved, and you're feeling judgment because you don't have the perfect co-parenting relationship. And people are thinking, well, it's easy if you just put in the effort. It's so easy. But it's not. It takes two people to make a co-parenting relationship work. And maybe you're feeling that judgment on you because you don't have it easy. Your ex is not cooperating and you've done everything you can. And maybe that's something that weighs on your head. And it's not just the judgment that weighs on your head for that. It's the pressure that you're given from your ex. It's coming from all angles. And then you've got the judgment just from society as a whole, where they just have that single parent stigma and the shame that they throw on single parents. And it's really coming from a place of being quite tone deaf. And I know I have mentioned this stigma and the judgments that are out there quite a few times. And I've even spoken about recently in a recent episode how women, not just women, actually men do it too. They hold on as long as they can because they just don't want to be a single parent because of the stigma that comes with it. They don't want to be seen as someone that just goes out and dates all the time. They don't want to be seen as someone that's didn't make a relationship work. They don't want to be seen as someone that's now got a co-parent and possibly have to rely on benefits. There is so much judgment that comes with that. But really, if you sit there and focus on what everyone else is saying about you, you are going to have a miserable life. It will really mess with your head. Now, one of the biggest things that I coach on when I'm helping people through this is learning to shut out the noise. You can't have any form of productive life when you're constantly listening to everybody else, when you're constantly worried about what they think. It is so important to remember you are at your own place in life, and what you're seeing with the Joneses down the street and what they're putting on social media is not necessarily what's happening behind closed doors. You're seeing the good snippets of their life and all the amazing things. You're not necessarily seeing the bad things that are happening behind closed doors. Now, in saying that, we're not wishing that bad is happening. But if there was, you don't know. You don't see that. They might be going through huge financial struggles and you don't know. They might be going through massive marriage difficulties and you don't know. You don't know what's happening. But you're seeing these few good things that they're sharing on social media and you're comparing yourself thinking, oh, I wish I had that life. Oh, I wish I had this. Oh, I wish I had that. And it's not just social media. It's friends and it's family. You might be going to family gatherings and maybe you're still in a relationship and you want out. You just want out. You're done. But you're feeling the pressure from them to stay in it. It's frowned upon to be a single parent. It's frowned upon to get divorced. Or maybe you are a single parent and you're dating and they're judging you. Oh, who's this person you're with now? Oh, you're still out dating again. Oh, you're with someone different. It's that judgment. Yes, you're not going to be everyone's perfect match. So it does take time to go out and date and meet new people. And that's not something that should be judged upon. But people do. It's seen as being, what's the word? Like you're a bit of a hussy. And, and for some reason, guys don't get that judgment. When guys date multiple women, it's for some reason, I don't know. Is it cool? I don't know. I don't see it as being cool. But with women, there is that more judgment and resentment towards women when they're dating multiple people, which doesn't make sense when you think about it. Because if men are out there dating, they're dating women. So why is there only one person in that scenario that's being judged and not both? It doesn't really make sense. But anyway, so there is that judgment when you become a single parent and you're out there dating. Oh, are they leaving their kids? Or why are they with this person? Oh, they're with someone new. It's constant. Then add to the equation when you get a co-parent that is not cooperative. You can extend as many olive branches as you like and they will still not cooperate. These things do happen. It happens a lot, but people are still judgmental of that. People still make comments acting as if it's so easy to co-parent. You've just got to make the effort. That's all lovely. If one person's making the effort, you need two people to make a co-parenting relationship work. And there is that judgment when you're in a co-parenting relationship and it isn't healthy and it isn't the best. And people question it. Well, why can't you just get along for the kids? Why can't you just do this? That's great. And in theory, that's what everyone wants. And that is what I encourage when I work with people. But unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way when you've got a co-parent that doesn't want to cooperate, that doesn't want to co-parent with you, that doesn't want to step up and be present in the kids' lives. And that is something that should never, ever be judged upon on somebody else. And the idea of this episode is to get across or to help you understand that we all get in the habit of questioning other people and what they do. But it's important to really remember, people don't make decisions in life just to be an arsehole. Mind you, there may be a small minority of people out there that do that. But most of the people, your friends, your family, most people you know, they don't make these choices just to piss you off, just to be an arsehole, just to prove a point. They do these things because it's what's best for them in that specific situation. They don't wake up in the morning thinking, I'm going to do something to piss this person off. I'm going to do something to prove a point. I'm going to do this. It's just everyone is going through a different journey. Some people may have a very toxic co-parenting relationship. Some people may really be struggling financially and just don't know what they can do to get better. And they're constantly comparing themselves and they're constantly feeling like they've got to keep explaining why they're in this situation. You know, you get people, well, why? You get benefits. Why are you struggling? I don't understand. Well, it's not your place to ask that. And let's be honest, look at the cost of living these days. It's not easy. If you're getting benefits and trying to pay rent or mortgage or whatever you're trying to pay, that's pretty much most of that gone. So you do see a lot of those comments out there saying, well, you get this, you should be living okay. You get this, you're probably going to spend all your money on Botox or lip fillers or whatever else. It's not your place to question what anybody else is doing in their life. Because quite honestly, those people that are questioning other people are usually the people that have shit lives themselves. Not necessarily shit lives, which is pretty harsh for me to say it like that, but they're usually the ones that they don't have anything really fulfilling in life. They don't have anything exciting happening. They don't have anything to look forward to. And for most of it, they're pretty miserable with the way their life is going. They're just in a standard job. They're getting paid. They're just scraping by. They hate their boss, but they've got to do it because they need to pay their bills. They're not making any effort to better themselves or their life. They're not looking at ways that they can make more money. They're not looking at ways that they can get a better job. They're not looking at ways that they can get fit and healthy. They're not looking at ways how they can improve their co-parenting relationship. Whatever the scenario is, they're not doing anything to improve their situation. The only thing that they're doing to make themselves feel better is by making other people feel shit. And personally, if you ask me, that's a pretty sad way to live. And just before I clocked on, and I know it's habit, we all do it, I had a quick little scroll on Facebook and I saw a post about Meghan Markle. And let's be honest, she's probably not the most loved person out there. I'm not bothered either way. I've never felt a need to attack her, but the comments that I read, I just went through and read the comment section because then whenever you see anything about her, it's just so much hate. And I read the comments and I just thought to myself, holy fuck, imagine being this person and having so many people in the world hate you And they don't know her full story. We've heard bits, we've heard snippets of it. The royals have their side, they have their side. There's always three sides to a story, isn't there? And we're never going to know the full story. But to judge someone so harshly when you don't know what happens behind closed doors in their life is really sad. And you see that a lot, the comments, the hate, the judgment from people that are judging other people and they don't even know them. And that's when you get caught up in the phase of trying to prove a point. And especially when that comment is directed at you. You might put a post up on Facebook or you might ask a question and then all of a sudden, I can guarantee you 90% of those responses will probably be negative. And they're just people trying to mock you and belittle you and make fun of you. And quite often, quite sadly, they're the people that are just wanting those likes on their responses. They're wanting to get knowledge. Oh, look how many likes I got on my response. It's like that's what makes them feel good because they've got nothing else going for them in life. They're not doing anything to better themselves. They're not doing anything to better their life. They're just making themselves feel better by getting likes, by hating on people they don't know, which is really sad. And this is what I wanted to get at is you don't need to prove a point to anybody in life. Nobody knows what you are going through. And if you put a post up, if you're talking to a friend or you're talking to family or something happens and you get a very judgy, passive, aggressive comment about you or about your life and they don't know what's going on, don't give it the attention. Because if they're judging you or they're making harsh comments about you when they're not making the effort to really get to know you or your scenario, then that speaks more about them than it does you. So don't go through life feeling like you need to keep explaining yourself to other people. Now, in saying that, I'm all for shutting down comments. And some people might say, well, why? Why do you want to engage? I don't engage on comments from people I don't know, but it's when I feel like it is crossing the line, if it is directed at me or if it's just something that I feel like if it's directed at single parents as a whole, then quite often I will get on and say something. I don't get on and get abusive, but I do get on and shut down that comment by showing people that it's not okay to have judgment on someone that you don't know. It's not okay to belittle someone that you don't know. And that's what it is. And that's why so many people are comparing themselves to people that they don't know everything about. People are feeling judged by people who don't know everything about them, and vice versa. It's a very toxic mentality, and that constant need to one-up people, and that need comes from feeling that desire to get recognized. Oh, I've done this. Oh, I've done that. Oh, I bet you haven't done this. It's all about wanting to prove a point that, see, I am better. I am a better parent. Oh, see, I do have more money. Oh, see, my job is better. I was right. And that's a common one, wanting to be right. Why? And it all comes down to just wanting to feel recognition, wanting to feel praised, wanting to feel loved. But doing it in that way, you're actually having a negative impact on somebody else. And if that's how you want to feel loved, it's a little bit sad. Feeling loved by hurting someone is not a healthy way to go about it. If you want to feel loved, then you focus on doing things that are right for you. You focus on things that make you feel good. You focus on things that make you feel happy, not focusing on things that are proving a point, proving what kind of parent you are, proving who you're dating, proving why you're single, proving why you don't have enough money to pay your bills. And sadly, that's what social media has done. We see it rubbed in our face every single day. We all have our phone in our hand pretty much all the time. And when you're bored for 2 seconds, you jump on it, whether it be TikTok, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Facebook, whether it be whatever else you use. It's on every platform. You can see it all, the perfect lifestyles, the perfect portrait photos, the perfect kitchens, the perfect holidays, the perfect first class flights, whatever it is, it's constantly rubbed in your face. But please remember, that is a small snippet of their life, and their life is very different to yours. Now, it can be used in a good way by seeing these things and seeing what other people have. It can most definitely be used to benefit you, and it can be used as a ways inspiration or motivation. Oh, wow. They didn't have any money. They were so broke. I remember a few years back, they went bankrupt, and now here they are going on a nice overseas holiday. That's so awesome. I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to save for that. For some, it can be motivation, and that's great, and that's how it should be used. Supporting people, uplifting them. When something good happens in their life, let them know. Tell them you're proud of them. Tell them that's awesome achievement. That's so good. But if something bad happens in someone's life, or if something's not going right, it's not an opportunity to shit on them and make sure that you're pointing out that you've got something better. It's not something that should ever be used as a, see, I told you so. It's something that you should just recognize that that's where they're at, and this is where you're at. So what if you're maybe 53, you're single, and you're renting, and you're struggling financially? Yes, it's not the perfect situation to be in. Who wants to be in that situation? Who plans to be in that situation? Nobody. When you're younger, you all plan to live happily ever after with your husband or wife, have it all paid off, have a nice home, be able to go on nice family holidays. That's what we all want, isn't it? But it doesn't always work out that way. We've all been through different struggles. We've all been through different things in our life that have got us to where we are. And this is why we need to remember that you can't look at Jane down the street and think, oh, why is she always struggling financially? I know she's got a good job. She drives a good car. Why is she always struggling? I don't understand it. You don't need to understand it. It's not your job. You don't know what's happening behind closed doors. Maybe she's helping out her parents financially. Maybe she's had some debt from years ago that she's struggling to get on top of. It doesn't matter. But what other people are going through is not something that you should use as a tool to make yourself feel better. But if you're in that situation where you're feeling like you're being constantly judged, you're feeling like you're constantly being questioned, you're feeling like you're constantly being misunderstood, then this is your reminder that you don't need to engage in those types of conversations. If someone is constantly questioning where you're at in life, constantly questioning what you're doing, why are they questioning you instead of supporting you? They're the people that you want in your life. If you've got something shit happening in your life and their response is, well, why are you still going through this? Why are you still dating? Why is this happening? They shouldn't be saying why. They should be saying, how can I help? They're the people you want. And people that you don't know that are questioning you, they're the people you don't need to worry about. You do not need to worry about people you don't know who are on social media and making these ridiculous comments to you or about your life. Don't engage. So when it comes to comparing yourself, the biggest step you can take to get yourself out of that is knowing in yourself that you are doing something productive and something beneficial to help move your life forward. And that's all you need to be focusing on. It's not about proving who's healed more. It's not about proving who's come further in life. It's not about proving who's got more in their bank account. It's about as long as you're doing what you can in your life to help move you forward. And that's what life is about. Life isn't about looking at what everyone else has. Life isn't about having to constantly explain yourself. Life isn't about being judged or judging others. You don't want to have that. That's not a healthy environment. You don't want to be around people that are constantly going to judge you. You don't want to be around people that are going to constantly give you passive aggressive comments about where you're at in life. You don't want to be around people that you feel are comparing their life to you, or you feel you need to keep constantly comparing your life to them. You just need to focus on what are you doing to step forward. What is something different you have done? If you were in a situation where you weren't able to pay your bills, but now you're at a place where all your bills are getting paid on time, that's you moving forward. If you're at a place where you never had any money, but now you've got some money put away in a bank account for savings, for a holiday, for last minute bills, for anything, then you're moving forward. If you're at a place where you felt you constantly needed to date back-to-back people, hoping to find the right one, and now you've learned that being single is not a bad thing, and you're using that time just to fall in love with your life and fall in love with your journey, then that's a good thing. That's you moving forward. And that's what you need to focus on. Because really, we all wish we could have something better. The grass is always greener. Whether it be money, whether it be job, whether it be lifestyle, whether it be anything, everybody wants something better than what they have. Getting rid of that need to compare and judge and prove a point is all about learning to love where you're at and learning to accept that I'm doing the best I can to have the best life I can. And if people are going to judge your story based on that, and they're judging your story when you're doing so much to make your life better, then that's not the support you need. You want people around you that are going to be like, wow, you're doing a kick-ass job. You have come so far. I'm so proud of you. That's the support you need. So please remember, if you're out with your mates and they're questioning you, saying, whoa, why are you still single for? Or they're asking you questions, why are you still having problems with your ex for? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? You don't need to deal with a constant why. It's nice for friends to ask questions. Are they asking questions to be nosy, or are they asking questions because they care and they want to support? It's very different, isn't it? If they're just asking those questions and you give the answer and they just drop it, they're just kind of being nosy. But if they're asking questions and then they keep going and they're wanting to find out more information and they're giving their advice or they're giving their support, then that's usually coming from a kind place. And that's what you want. You want people that you're not feeling judged around, and those are the people that you want. You want people around you that you don't feel like you have to explain your life to. And sadly, that is one of the reasons why a lot of people dip out of the dating world for a while, because it gets to that point when you're dating where you constantly got to explain yourself each time you meet someone new. And it does get a little draining, doesn't it? You're going through this same dialogue of, what do you do? How many kids do you have? Where do you live? Where does the ex live? Are they live nearby? How old are your kids? What kind of relationship do you have with your ex? I mean, you may not necessarily ask those questions, but you're going through this same whole thing again. And it gets a bit monotonous when you feel like, oh, I've got to do this again. So that's why I get it, why so many people do get out of the dating world. But you've got to find a way to make it fun. And it's not just with dating, it's with anything that you're going through and you're feeling like you're in a rut. You're feeling like nothing good is happening. You're feeling like you've just got no excitement. And when you get like that and you're feeling very flat and you're feeling very dull, that's when you get into this headspace of comparing yourself. That's when you get into this headspace of thinking, oh, I wish I had this. Oh, I wish I was able to do that. Oh, look at those people. Look what they're doing. I wish I was able to do that. Why can't I do that? You get into this comparison mode. But when you're doing things where really light you up, you're doing things that are moving you forward in life, you're more inclined to keep the focus on you. You're more inclined to not want to compare yourself to other people because you're feeling good in yourself. And as I always say, hurt people hurt people. If you're feeling good in yourself, you don't have a need to hurt people. You don't have a need to judge other people or make them explain themselves to you. You don't have a need to constantly prove a point to other people. It's all about looking after you, doing what makes you feel good. And that's what I work with a lot in my job. I work on getting your self-worth back on track, your confidence. And that's what you need. When you have that, when you feel good in yourself, when you've got that self-worth, when you've got that confidence, you're not feeling the need to look at other people and go, oh, I wish I had that. I wish I had this. I wish I had what they've got. Because you're feeling good enough in yourself. You've got the confidence in yourself. You've got the self-worth in yourself to know that I am doing good with where I'm at. And I'm quite happy. And instead of seeing other people when they have something good, you're not wanting to judge them. You're not wanting to mock them. You're not wanting to make fun of them. You're wanting to be happy for them. You're wanting to be proud of them and encourage them and then support them. That's the kind of person you want to be. So if you don't want someone else to judge you, if you don't want someone else to question you, if you want to get out of the habit of constantly proving a point, if you want to get out of the habit of feeling like you need to compare yourself to other people, then get your self-worth back on track. Because I promise you, when you're feeling better in yourself, you're not wanting to make other people feel hurt. You're not wanting to try and belittle and intimidate other people. And even though you may not be intentionally doing that, but when you are judging other people, that's what it is. That's what's happening. When you are feeling the need to prove a point to a degree, that's what's happening as well, because you're trying to prove them wrong. No, I did this. No, you didn't. It doesn't matter. You don't need to prove a point to anyone. And when you get to that place where you're happy in yourself and you feel good in your life, you're not needing to do that. You're not worried about what other people are doing. And when you are seeing what other people are doing, you're not feeling intimidated. You're not feeling threatened. You're not feeling less than in yourself. You're not feeling the need to compare yourself and think, why don't I have that? You're using it as motivation to better your life. You're using it as a way to go, oh, wow, that's awesome. You're using it as a way to be a good person instead of getting upset or feeling not worthy enough by someone else doing something good. So just remember that comparison will always be there. Social media will always be there. Friends, family, people that you see every day are always going to have their opinions. It's up to you how you choose to take it. It's up to you if you choose to keep associating with these people if their opinions are not offering any benefit to your life. If there are opinions that are just hurting you, if there are opinions that are just judging and making you feel shit about your life, then it's up to you to choose, are these people I need around me? Are these people I want to keep associating with? And if you're feeling like you're constantly comparing yourself to other people and you're constantly needing to prove a point, you're constantly needing to justify yourself, ask yourself why. Why do you feel the need to keep doing that? Because you don't need to prove a point to anybody. All you need to focus on is you and your life and your kids, what's in your little bubble. Everybody else, yes, you don't want to upset your friends. You don't want to upset your family. You don't want to upset people that are in your life on a regular basis. But you don't need to prove a point to them either. Proving a point is not upsetting them. Like if you choose not to prove a point, you're not hurting them in any way. If anything, you're doing the opposite. You don't need to focus on that. You just need to focus on knowing that you're doing the right thing in your life, knowing that you're moving your life forward, and knowing that you're leading by example for your kids. That's what you need to focus on. And if you're seeing somebody or a situation where it's better than yours, instead of getting upset and comparing yourself, I want you to look at yourself and go, okay, that's awesome. I wish I had that. What can I do to make that happen in my world? That's how you get rid of the comparison. Looking at how you can make that happen for you, not just, Who do they think they are? Or they must just think they're so much better. They've got a new car. Or they must think this because they've got this. No, that's not nice. That's nasty. We don't need that. That's nasty comparison. It's all about supporting people and being kind to them. And if someone has something good, praise them, support them, recognize them. Don't get jealous. Don't get triggered. Don't get upset, because you're then going to spiral into this bubble of, why don't I have this? Why don't I have that? That's this comparison bubble. This is what you need to get out of. So let's start being happy for other people. Encourage other people, support other people, and stop comparing, stop judging, stop explaining, stop justifying. Love where you're at. And if you're not loving where you're at, then make some steps. Take action. Start doing things to get your life in a better place. Start doing things to get your life where you're somewhere where you can go, okay, I've made progress. My life's not perfect right now, but I'm making progress. And that's what matters. And if you are struggling, this is what I do work with. I work with clients all the time to help them to find their self-worth, to help them get their direction back in life, because you can lose that. As a single parent, it's quite common to lose your identity, to lose your goals, to lose what you had in life. And I work with this quite often, where we look at what's missing. What can we do to bring this joy back in your life? And sometimes it's very simple as just doing something easy that you love doing. For others, it's not. For others, they've got themselves in a bit of a hole and they just don't know how to get out. And that's where I come in. So if you are needing that little bit of extra support and that bit of a push, then this is where I can help and have those chats, whether it's a coaching chat, whether it's a Q&A session. Those options are available and they're all on my website. So I really hope you all got something from this. And the main point of it is to please stop comparing yourself. Love where you're at. Everybody is at their own place in life. You do not know what's happening behind closed doors in their life. So let's get out of the habit of comparing. Stop judging. Stop questioning other people. Stop looking down on other people when you don't know what's happening in their world. You don't know what's really going on. Just start loving your life and where you're at. And that's what it's about. Stop comparing and just start loving. All right. That's it from me. I really hope you got something productive from this. And if you do, don't forget, write me a review. Give me some feedback. I love to hear what you're all thinking of the show. So jump on board, share it with your single parent friends, and let's get it out there in the single parent community. And until next week, guys, I'll be in your ears then. Thank you for joining us on the Life After Plus One podcast. If you loved what you heard today and looking for some further support, then jump onto our website, lifeafterplusone.com. Plus, don't forget to check out our Instagram page for further resources and inspo. You can find all the links in the show notes. And remember, you're not alone on this path. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next episode. And in the meantime, keep thriving, keep growing, and keep exploring your amazing life after plus one.